John Cusack was everywhere for years, and then, almost overnight, he wasn't. No explosive scandal, no public meltdown, no career-ending headline. He simply vanished from the films you'd expect to see him in, and most people never got a satisfying explanation for why. The real story is far more nuanced, and honestly, far more interesting than any rumor could be. At the peak of his career, Cusack was the kind of actor audiences trusted. He brought something rare to the screen, a genuine, grounded quality that made even complicated characters feel deeply relatable. Films like Say Anything, High Fidelity, Being John Malkovich, and Grosse Point Blank cemented him as one of the most distinctive leading men of his generation. He wasn't chasing action spectacles or franchise gold. He was telling human stories, and audiences loved him for it. So what changed? According to various reports, it wasn't one defining moment. It was a slow accumulation of forces, some external, some entirely by his own choice. The Hollywood landscape began shifting dramatically through the 2000s, with major studios pouring their energy and budgets into superhero universes, sequels, and global blockbusters. The mid-budget character dramas and sharp comedies where Cusack had always excelled were becoming an endangered species. He acknowledged in interviews that securing financing for the kinds of stories he wanted to tell became genuinely difficult, noting that both his age and the industry's changing priorities had narrowed his opportunities considerably. Rather than adapt by chasing roles that didn't interest him, Cusack reportedly leaned into independent films and international productions, projects with more artistic freedom and less commercial pressure. The trade-off was visibility. These films rarely came with massive marketing campaigns, meaning large audiences simply didn't know he was still actively working. To many fans, silence looked like absence. His outspoken public persona also set him apart from the typical Hollywood playbook. He moved from Los Angeles back to Chicago, kept a deliberate distance from red carpet culture and industry social circles, and used social media to voice sharp opinions on politics, corporate power, and social justice, including interviewing Edward Snowden and co-authoring a book on related themes. While many admired his willingness to speak candidly, some reports suggest his reputation as a polarizing voice made certain studio doors harder to open. His activism also drew significant controversy at times. His vocal criticism of Israeli military actions in Gaza earned both passionate support and fierce backlash. In 2019, he shared a social media post containing an image that was widely condemned as anti-Semitic. He deleted it within hours and issued a public apology, acknowledging the image was harmful regardless of his intentions. Similar controversies followed in subsequent years, keeping him at the center of ongoing debate. Beneath all of it is a story rooted in who he always was. Cusack grew up in Evanston, Illinois, in a creatively charged, politically engaged household. His father was a filmmaker and actor, his mother, a former math teacher and activist. His sister Joan became an Oscar-nominated actress. Artistic ambition and independent thinking weren't just encouraged in that family, they were the foundation. John Cusack didn't disappear. He made choices, accepted the consequences, and built a career on his own terms. Whether you admire that or question it, it's hard to call it anything other than deliberate. If this kind of deep dive into Hollywood's untold stories is your thing, hit like and subscribe. There's plenty more where this came from.